Hey there, Alex here. Welcome to another episode from Sweet Spot Soul. It's been a little while and I've been on a bit of a sabbatical and I went on an incredible deep soul journey. I won't get too detailed about that, but it was really amazing. And today marks my 2-week anniversary of the integration of that. So lots and lots has come through, lots of solidification and deepening of my inner union. And it's, yeah, really, I'm kind of at a loss for words. But I want to thank you for your patience. I also want to let you know that I'm hiring my daughter to begin doing my editing for me and posting for me so that I can continue to serve deeply and serve more clients, as well as getting more content out to you without having the time restraints that I had before. When it came to uploading and getting things posted. So hopefully you'll see a change in that as well. There might be some shifts. So thank you for your patience in that. I hope you've had an amazing few weeks. If you're new here, my name's Alex, and I've got lots of videos, foundational videos that are all numbered. So make sure you go back to the beginning and subscribe as well, because there's a lot of foundational pieces that'll help you to understand where I'm coming from and see if I really resonate with you. What I want to talk a little bit about today, I do want to just tap into this journey and really this overall sort of what this is about. And to talk, I believe what I want to talk about is this inner union, what this union feels like, and what it also looks like on the outside. Okay. And when it comes into the physical form. And I don't just mean with your twin flame, I mean in general, what does it feel like? What does that union energy feel like, so that you can begin to really identify it? Again, when your twin comes in or isn't in, either way, you know that you're really feeling it. So what's happening in this journey, you're basically, and I'm hopefully, again, you've been following me already, but if not, um, I just want to say that this journey is about your awakening back into your wholeness, into your union, inside of union between you and your soul, an embodiment of your soul in this 3D body. It's a journey back to home, in a sense. And what happened is your beautiful, intricate soul you decided to incarnate 2 bodies at the same time in order to activate you onto this journey and to support you in this journey of embodiment of soul and then ascension to multidimensionality, to a unity consciousness and a level of freedom by opening up truly Stargate portals to higher dimensions. Now, we as a species are all going there right now. There's awakenings happening in many different ways. This is just one type of an initiation that's very intense, that was orchestrated by you as you created, again, a polarized version of yourself to activate you and to continue to show you what needs to be alchemized and transmuted to bring you back into that union, into that inner union and that vertical space of oneness with soul. And then it has this ability, this other being has this ability to come in and then ground that embodied soul in the physical body more into this 3D reality. So the 2 beings, the masculine and feminine beings, or the push and pull, however we want to call them, come together and eventually are able to now stabilize by working together in the 3D with the higher dimensional reality and consciousness, and share that consciousness. And they meet in the 5D and above, 5D and above. So watch the video, your twin flame is you pushed out, to get a sense of this idea that we come in, and I want you to, I'll say it again right now, we come into this reality, into this 3D reality as a being, ourself, as a being that has core wounds and mainly a core wound, most likely in the case of twin flames, lack of self-love, lack of self-worth. These are the 2 core deepest wounds. Yes, there are other ancillary wounds, abandonment, and so on, these things that feed into this. But these 2 core wounds especially are here to be they anchor us here into the physical world. And our twin has the same core wound as we do, but we are showing up in different ways, exact opposite ways. So whatever we are displaying is going to be a shadow mirror from the twin. So there's a big polarization that happens between the masculine and the feminine polarities in this reality, in the 3D reality. And why is that? It's because the 3D reality is polarized. Everything is in positives and negatives, masculine, feminine, push and pull. Actually, let me put this in perspective. Feminine, masculine is push, pull. We've got, some people call it lion and eagle. Okay. One of them is the the chaser. One is the runner. One is the attraction. One is the aversion. So one is leaning in and the other one is leaning out. Okay. But then we also, of course, have the moon and the sun, and we have the night and the day, right? So this is all polarities. But the core two wounds that need to be corrected in this journey are self-love, self-worth, and many flavors of that and different ways that shows up for either. Okay. The way that we work with this energy in order to come into a balance, and the whole initiation, the whole idea of this, why we meet this twin, is to show us that we are in separation consciousness and to help us to become activated, to go on a journey to find that unity consciousness. So it's moving from separation consciousness to unity consciousness. That's what this journey is about. So in moving from separation consciousness to unity, we cannot focus on the push and pull polarized beings. We can witness what's happening and what's being triggered and so on. But the more we understand that what's happening between these two is a polarized opposite interaction, a positive and a negative it being the female, which is supposed to be receptive, and positive being the male that's supposed to be moving towards the female, but they're polarized and they're off, and so they're pushing away, and so there's an energetic wall between the two. You can't work on it here. They only can meet in the neutral point, the 0 point, the sweet spot of soul at the 5th dimension or above. Okay, so we've got these two beings. We need to move into the 5th dimension in order to meet them there. When we first meet them, we haven't yet polarized, and we meet, and all of the beautiful, amazing exactness of the two soul frequencies, the same soul, beings, the same soul in two bodies has the perfect resonant match core frequency. So they just blend, right? But again, you come into the 3D with a core wound that's meant to be corrected in this lifetime. At least in this lifetime, because you met the twin, you know it's supposed to be this lifetime, but you've lived many, many, many lifetimes growing and trying to get out of the loop of reincarnation to actually go back into these higher dimensions. And trust me, there has been messing around, definitely on many levels, disembodied beings, all kinds of stuff that is keeping this from happening more easily. But more and more twins are being activated now, and we do have it within our capacity to get there now. That being said, we came into this life with these wounds, and they are polarized opposite wounds. So as we merge and there's a soul recognition and the DNA is already beginning to merge together, everything that's unlike it, anything that's unlike the perfection, unlike source, gets pushed out into this shared field. The two beings polarize, lock in this shared energetic field. And while there's this absolute perfect divine counterpart draw towards each other because of the perfection of the same soul frequency, you also have the polarized opposite core wound frequency and tendency to push or pull that's distorted, that needs to be worked out. So in reality, when you hear people say, get into soul, move up to the 5th dimension of soul, which is peace, presence, non-duality, all of that, which we'll talk about. If not in this video, the next one, make sure you subscribe, please, so you don't miss that, because I have a lot to say around that too, which is, if this resonates, of course. Oh, and give it a thumbs up too, if you like it. So not only do we need to go to soul, yes, of course, that's important, but there's also this contending with the 3D, because we are in this body. We do have a mind and we do have emotions. So if we want to meet with the physical twin in soul, that's great. We can do that. We can just meditate and deny all the other stuff, the mind and the emotions, and that'll pull them in. Like I've said in the last video, that's great. And that's a part of it, 100% part of it. But if we don't deal with what keeps these core wounds and these distortions in place, if we don't deal with those, then they're going to continue to keep us in this fight with ourselves, mentally and emotionally, and all of the dysregulation that happens because of the polarized shadow self, the polarized push and pull energy. Because when you have a polarized way of dealing with your dysregulation, one might tend, and you might take a peek at this for yourself, one might tend to lean in and cling on to what they want to control, so that they're not in fear of losing it. So that would be attraction, grab hold of, hold on to, control in that way. That would be the push energy. Okay, that would be, we call it often the divine feminine, but whatever, it's just the push energy. And then the pull energy, in order to control their dysregulated feelings and emotions, they would tend to run away and avoid and find other ways to deal with that energy or to distract themselves, addictions, whatever, overworking. So they avoid, they run. That's the runner. So you've got the chaser and you've got the runner, and that would be a tendency that you would have. Now we all can play both roles in most every other relationship, but once you are polarized and you've met your same self, soul frequency, you each take on a role. And in general, those roles that you take on are not necessarily, I mean, it might be the way that you are in all other relationships, but often it's the opposite of what you used to be, or that you've been in many other relationships, but you haven't recognized it. So in other words, you might be the push energy that's constantly wanting to hold on to and to regulate by getting more information and knowing what's going to happen and what are they doing and what are they thinking and what are they feeling and all of that. I need, to feel regulated, to calm down. And yet you don't recognize in yourself how many times in your life you've been the runner, you've been the avoidant, right? You've been that style in relationships where you've been like, nah, and you run and you run. So that's your shadow. And they show you your shadow. They are your mirror, and they show you the shadow of what you're not seeing. And then likewise, the other way around. You might even be witnessing your twin in relationships or third-party situations where they're being the chaser, right? They're being clingy and they're doing all the things that you're finding yourself doing with their third party, right? But they're avoiding you. What are you showing them? You're showing them the opposite of what they're not used to. So it's so interesting how that mirroring can happen, but just recognize that you can't do the work on the 3D for that reason, but you can watch what's happening and you can reintegrate those parts of you, and you can become aware of those and start to heal those pieces in you. And yes, they are things that we do need to heal in our inner worlds if we don't want to just ignore it and bypass it and just sit in meditation. You can do both. And I believe both needs to happen, because otherwise you're going to continue to contend with your mind and your emotions. And this is your whole creative manifestation power, is to come into alignment and utilize a balanced masculine, feminine within you. Intention and emotion, the emotional charge behind your intention is creative energy. And when you have that working together, then you have incredible manifestation power. So it's very important to recognize, again, on this journey, you're activated by your twin. You have a polarized shadow way of working energetically. One's going to be aversion, one's going to be attraction. They're going to be a push and pull. There's going to be a positive and a negative. It's just the way things are, and they lock in. And until one or both comes into a inner union, a natural neutralized space that neutralizes the charge of that push and pull that's been locked into that shared energetic field, until that happens, they cannot stay together. They might come in and activate. There might be little moments of being in alignment. They come in and then you dysregulate again because you haven't dealt with some of the stuck emotions, some of the old traumas, or whatever it is that still need to process out. The ways of seeing the world, the beliefs, these belief systems that keep you from being able to naturally hold that alignment. And that's the work that I do, as I want to help people to get to the space where that's a natural spot, where there's no more belief systems in place that can derail you so quickly, especially when you are challenged and dysregulated. You want to be able to hold that ground. So what we're going to talk about in the next couple of videos, I want to talk about union energy itself, what that feels like. I was going to try to do it here in this one, but I'm going to do it in another one. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit more about what is self-love and how do we do that? Like, what is that about? But in general, remembering that on the energetic plane, which is really what we need to do to be able to be in the space of our twin physically, what needs to be balanced there is just this push and pull energy, okay? Neutralizing that. That's the energetics of the positive and the negative polarized to people. To keep that polarization from happening, however, we need to master within our own ways of being so that we can maintain inner union. So that inner union is the first step. Most likely your twin's not going to do it because they're avoiding. They're most likely the positive polarity, masculine, what have you, runner, and they're not looking for solutions. They are the matrix, quote unquote, or the 3D twin. They are more rooted in ego, and they're playing on that role. Oh, by the way, watch the metaphysical roles of twin flames, also a video on that as well, just to get a sense of kind of timing and how the roles that we all play here. So one twin has to come into that inner union and hold it. And to hold it, I don't want you to be thinking you need to be sitting on the mountain contemplating your navel all day long or being hyper vigilant about every single thought. Yes, in union, in physical union, you are still going to have to deal with the mind and the ego. You will still always have an ego, but it will be in the back seat, and all of the triggered stuff that was running the show before can be and will be alchemized and out of the way over time. Again, that's what I help you to do if you want that. So coming into that alignment and staying in that alignment will allow for consistency and more and more and more for the two physical bodies to come into union and stay in union. Union is a twin flame union. Permanent union is 5 levels deep. It's your mental, emotional, physical, etheric, and spiritual bodies all need to come into alignment. So when somebody just is aiming at physical union without the mental, the emotional, the physical, and etheric, there's no staying power there. They all come into alignment in perfect timing, in divine timing. And I'm going to talk about that too, a little bit on divine timing. So definitely make sure you like this if you resonate, and subscribe if you resonate. There's much more to come. And again, I want to thank you for your patience in my leave of absence here late in this summer. Been an incredible, incredible journey that I've been on, and so much deep desire to help you get through this and to really actually learn to enjoy the ride as well. Because once you really understand and you're able to not detach, become non-attached to the physical, how the physical is playing out, while still having a vision and a space within for that union in the future, so that you can keep that in just, within the whole realm and the scheme of things. I want to just help you along this whole journey. It's so different and so unique for everyone. There's so much gold in it to learn. And when you really do come to recognize that you are the creator of your entire reality, and you created this experience with your soul created this polarized version of you in the same lifetime, in the same realm, to reflect and become your partner in this ascension, this first ascension of embodiment of soul and releasing of the distortion. And then this ascension together into multidimensionality, together into higher levels. And it's an incredibly beautiful, beautiful journey. And the more that you accept and learn just the basics of what's going on here and let go of the attachments, that's what's going to help bring you into that inner union. So the very next video I'm going to record right now is going to be about what is this inner union and these attachments and all of this, so that you can take this to the next level and get a sense and a flavor of what this inner union tastes like in every day. I think I might have mentioned that in the beginning of this video. It was in my intention for sure, but this one's getting a little long, so I'll go ahead and do that in the next video. So I hope that you got value in this. If you're interested in learning more about working with me, you can go to sweetspotsoul.com. There's more in the description box. I have another channel as well that talks about all of these same things around awakening, but not from the twin flame perspective or journey, because this is a very unique and very highly charged, different, nuanced journey. But this stuff that's over there is going to help you as well. So make sure you go over there as well. It's under my name that you should probably see on this page, Alex Sabatelli Rager on YouTube. You might want to subscribe to that as well. You'll always get, you'll just get double the content that way as well. And the last thing I want to say is, if you find on the Sweet Spot Soul page, I think I might put in there a 15-minute link. If you want to take a connection call, not as coaching, it's not free coaching. Please don't abuse that. I really, really appreciate that. My time is valuable, and so is yours. And I really want to support you. And I try to do everything I can here on YouTube for free. And I may start a community page really soon, not a community page, but a live Q&A, really, 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 really affordable membership to do just Q&As with you guys. But I also have, I want to put that link in there if you are considering working with me and you want to know which package is going to be the best for your situation. So you can share a little bit about what's going on, and we can talk about how I might be able to support you. It's not a hard sales pitch. I just want to make sure that you feel comfortable should you decide you want to work with me. So check on that Sweet Spot Soul page. And if you find a link there to be able to schedule with me, then go ahead and grab that if you are serious about taking a step and doing some of this work together, transmuting. So there's a video on that page too. So make sure you watch that first and see if it really resonates for you. Okay, I think that's it for right now. I'm going to go into that next video about inner union and what does that feel like, and what does it feel like also in the 3D. Okay, talk to you soon.